Hello, welcome to the Nerd Spectrum podcast. You only give me one horn? Not even multiple horns? Okay, that's better, but I'm still a little offended. That was a lot of disrespect, unnecessarily.
I didn't know what you wanted. You weren't clear.
Anyway, yeah, today we're talking endings. That's not... No, it's a sad thing to talk about.
Yeah, boy!
Okay, I'm taking... No, stop, you're grounded.
That's mean.
No, you don't need the horn anymore. I don't know why I let you do that. Anyway,
Whoa.
you're just... Every time we talk about something... Avengers.
You need that ending. I'll just be my own.
I need that ending?
Yeah, exactly.
That ending needs that ending.
You have endings. You need that ending.
We don't even know if the endings are going to be good. Yeah? See?
They're going to be good.
Toy Story 4 is going to be a happy ending?
No.
So then...
But none of these movies are probably going to be a happy ending.
I wouldn't go that far. Anyway, so yeah. Today we're talking endings. 2019 has, what, 5 titles? 6 titles. 6 titles! 6 series. Or, I wouldn't count it as a series. But
it was only 2 movies.
It was only 2 movies. But it's a conclusion to a really good story, in my opinion. Before we jump into that, we're gonna start with some movie news we got. Specifically for me, Avengers. I know we're gonna talk about it later. But Russos are giving us what we want. They're giving us a 3-hour movie.
Hell yeah, boy.
I'm pretty hyped about it. I can't imagine... They said they've been editing it for a while now, and I can't see it getting shorter.
Yeah, just leave it in, honestly. Like, I'm not gonna complain. Nobody else is gonna complain. Like, when we watch those, 2 hours and, something minutes movies, it literally feels like I just got in the movie theater, sat down, and watched this movie, and now I have to leave. Like, it seems so short because the story is so good.
Yeah, it just... Especially if it, really just jumps into it. Like, Infinity War, you had no chance to, get settled, go up the roller coaster.
You literally started with, all this death and mayhem. So I'm like, hell yeah, let me get in on this.
Ebony Maw's preaching about, what's it called? He's like, be thankful that you have died by Thanos' hand. And it's already really dark and twisted. Like,
yeah,
you're already super into it.
It literally felt like I was in there for 15 minutes. And I was like, it's over? What? That's it? That's all I get?
Right, you end with a, oh god, and it's just Thanos smiling.
Exactly. It could have been, they could have made Infinity War 4 hours long. And I probably still would have been like, that's it?
Do you think they'll do a supercut? You think they'll just blend it together?
Maybe for the Blu-ray version or something.
That, like a 6-hour movie? Well... I think it would come out to be 6 hours, right? Because how long was Infinity War?
Depending on how much. I have no idea.
I bet it was 2:30.
Probably.
Something like that.
Over 2 hours for sure, though.
Yeah, over 2 hours, but I don't know if it was close enough to make it 6 hours. Either way, that would be the dream. I don't understand why epics like Avengers or Star Wars or
Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows.
Harry Potter and Deathly Hallows, that, if that were the first one to give us a 3-hour cut, no one would be mad.
No one would be mad.
We'd all be super hyped. I feel like you'd be able to get more content in.
Especially if you're such a die-hard fan. If you're a casual person, maybe, yeah, you'd be but I have to go to the bathroom. I can't go yet. But, if you're a die-hard fan, no amount is going to be too long. Yeah, the bathroom does not exist. You don't have to pee. Your bladder disappears.
Exactly. I don't think I've ever had to go to the bathroom during a movie.
No. I have, but I've always held it because I'm I'm not missing anything.
I think it's part of that surrender myself to the experience. Where
yeah,
I'm just
and it's also I paid for this ticket, and I'm not about to waste my time by being in the bathroom.
I don't know about that because even seeing, I think maybe third time we saw The Last Jedi, I was like, all right, I had a lot of coffee. I'll go to the bathroom real quick during Canto Bite. That was it, but that was the exception.
You were I know this part is not as important to me, so I'm just gonna not.
And I don't hate on Canto Bite because I like the Fathiers. I like space horses. That was they're cute. I felt bad for them. I did not like seeing them get tortured.
Oh
or,
my god,
whipped.
yeah, they were so sad.
Exactly. Anyway, yeah, but that's just something I wanted to bring to the table. That I'm pretty hyped at Avengers.
Bring
3
that
hours.
to the table, boy.
What about you?
Okay, so my thing that is very specific is that Ryan Murphy, I think a couple of days ago, or maybe today, I don't know, time is blurred together, it doesn't matter, has announced that Scream Queens may get a reboot.
I never watched Scream Queens, so you're going to have to walk me through this.
I only watched the first season, maybe the first episode of the second season.
Was it good?
In my opinion, no.
So then, why is this
Because it has a big fan following. It only aired from September 2015 to December 2016. It didn't even run for a full... Like, it ran for a year, but, like, not really because, like, your time off and whatnot.
Exactly.
So it only really ran for a whole year, and it only had 2 seasons.
Nick Jonas, Emma Roberts...
Billy Lord.
Yeah.
Abigail Breslin. Ariana Grande was in, like, the first, like, 3 episodes, maybe.
Did not know that. That's interesting.
Jamie Lee Curtis was in it.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No.
For as much as you, like, love her, I feel like you would have known that.
I love her as the OG Scream Queen.
But,
I love
like,
her.
that's what she was in it, though. It's because she is the OG Scream Queen, but she was, like... So, it's, like, the, like, main thing is it's on a college campus, and there's, like, a red-horned killer, and nobody knows who it is. And Jamie Lee Curtis is, like, the dean of the college.
That's pretty dope.
She's, like, a giant asshole.
As she should be. She's earned it.
Yeah, she's earned it. She can be a giant asshole.
She survived
She's
Michael
so charming
Myers.
in, like, real life. She can play whoever she wants. But it is meant to be satirical.
On the genre?
On the genre, and, like... how everybody is, like, in it is so stupid.
Is it a little tongue-in-cheek? Is it like Fourth Wall Break where they're like, wink?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then.
It's just satirical, and, like, everybody's really stupid in them getting themselves killed, and, like, it focuses on Emma Roberts' character and Billy Lord and Abigail Breslin being the, like, mean girls of the school, and, like, they don't care about the killings because it's affecting their, like, popularity and things like that.
What?
It's like...
No wonder it didn't last.
Yeah, it's not... In my opinion, it's not good. Like, I'm...
The story's not compelling.
Yeah, like, I'm down with a satirical take on horror. Like, I'm not gonna knock it down for, like, pointing out the flaws that there are in horror movies.
Right, because that's what Scream did.
Yeah, exactly. Like, make fun of yourself. Like, that's fine. But I think it was just done so poorly, in my opinion. And it was just really bad.
Yeah, I get that.
So, I don't... get why that many people liked it, but I feel like the fans of Scream Queens weren't, like, horror fans. Like, it was, like, people that can't watch scary movies because they're scared
so
type
like
of audience.
A good medium for them?
Yeah, like, I mean, good for, like, the showrunners because that's what they want. Mm-hmm. But, like, for me personally, that's not what I want. Like, that's not horror. That's not funny to me. Like, it's not good.
It's not your cup of tea.
It's not my cup of tea, so I don't really get it. But I also don't... It only lasted 2 seasons, so, like, why would there be a reboot?
Yeah, so soon. Yeah. It's a little strange.
Yeah, like, it just ended, and Ryan Murphy, yes, he posted on his Instagram because people have been telling him to reboot it for a while.
Was it, like, a set photo?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I just saw an article.
Talking about it?
Mm-hmm. But he said that Emma Roberts and Billy Lord and I think... Nick Jonas, maybe?
They're gonna bounce off American Horror Story minus Nick Jonas?
Yeah, they all were like, yeah, I'm down to come back and do that. Because that was, like, it's for specifically Billy Lord, that was her big, like, acting job on her own.
Wait, that was on Fox, right?
Mm-hmm.
I bet that's gonna be their streaming service. I bet if it's rebooted...
Well, he said if it's rebooted, it will be a limited 6-part series or a full-length movie.
Oh, okay.
So if it is, I can see, like, the 6-part series, like, being
a service.
A service. I can't see the full-length movie being in theaters. People liked it, but I can't see it.
Was there
being big enough for that?
Was it like a Pretty Little Liars thing? Like, was the killer caught in the first season, or was it like Scream on MTV, where it was like?
The killer in the first season was caught. It was spoilers. Leah Michelle from Glee, her character, she
always was crazy.
Yes.
On Glee.
She was always crazy on Glee, and she was always crazy on Scream Queens.
Her name was Rachel in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Not that that's relevant. I just
wanted to know for yourself.
You know.
But I think she also said that she would be cool coming back to it too.
Was she murdered? Does the killer not die in Scream Queens?
I honestly don't remember.
Okay. Well, I guess that speaks to the show.
But the killer came back in season 2.
Of course, because
either it's a new killer or she didn't die, so it doesn't matter.
Speaking of killers coming back,
she didn't die. She went to jail.
Well, that's lame.
Yeah, so she could come back. Okay. Anyway, speaking of killers who can't die,
Michael Myers.
Yes. We're both about.
Just got confirmed today. Kind of. I don't know. I won't say bummed because he's my boogeyman.
Yeah.
So
like
it's
legit.
like, yeah, he's legitimately.
Literally.
You know, our wedding vows said I'll learn to take the trash out eventually, but since I procrastinate everything, I do it at night. Michael Myers coming out in an alley trying to murder me. It's always like a fear of mine.
Anyways, Halloween.
As
a sequel got announced. Is it even a sequel though? Because the Halloween that just came out was a sequel.
A sequel to the sequel.
So it'd be like
there can
a trilogy now.
There can be,
I guess.
But like, are they gonna finish it? Like, is it gonna end? Is
no,
it gonna
of course
be
it's
like?
not gonna end. They're not gonna freaking end something that makes them money.
Okay, but like with Blumhouse, since Halloween was made with 10 million and it made like 180, like there's no way it won't make money. Like even if Blumhouse was like, all right guys, you did real good on the first go. You know what? We'll give you an extra 5 million. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And the director said that there were certain aspects that he left open for a sequel.
Yeah, with the whole ending, like Michael not being in the flames.
Yeah, but you hear his breathing.
So you kind of are like, is he gone?
And then he had plans for Cameron, Allison?
Boyfriend?
Yeah, Allison's boyfriend.
Yeah.
But he got arrested in like the extra credit, or not the extra credits, but like the deleted scenes.
Like you literally see nothing about him.
Yeah, so
after the
you just know,
school dance scene.
You just know he was like his grandpa was an asshole to Bill. Was it Billy? No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember the kid's name.
What kid isn't named Billy in those days?
Yeah, you're right.
We can just assume.
But
if we're wrong, I'm sorry, Billies.
Wow, I watched that movie so much. I can't believe I can't remember his name.
It's okay. Sometimes you blank out in important parts.
But anyway, it's just like, I'm not disappointed, but I'm not necessarily excited because I thought like it did really well in evolving horror. It gave me more of like
it was a good like resurgence of it,
and it gave me like an Alien feel. It shifted, right? Because like in Alien, it's the alien obviously hunting down Ripley and she's terrified. In Aliens, she's no longer as scared and she fights the queen.
She's like,
or whatever.
I'm gonna kill you. I don't.
And that's
care.
what happened to Laurie, right? Like,
yeah, she like nutted up.
Very much Arsenal, freaking house in the woods.
The whole like doomsday.
Yeah, she was ready for the apocalypse. She had pickled everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a little disappointing because I didn't want it to happen so soon if it did happen. But I'm excited because Michael Myers is my favorite.
See, Michael Myers. What?
Michael Miles. Interesting.
Yes. Michael Myers for you is your like ultimate boogeyman, and like I know that's something.
They spent the entire freaking movie trying to humanize him, and he did nothing.
Yeah.
They were like
he really is a fucking monster. Like just let him be a monster.
Exactly.
But like I didn't grow up with like fearing Michael Myers at all. Like I didn't watch the original Halloween until I was, I think, 13.
Wow.
Yeah.
I saw that when I was like 3.
Yeah. Your dad's messed up, man. I like
horror was
my parents cared about what I watched.
No, horror was very much embedded into my soul very early.
Which you don't even like horror that much now.
I don't. Well, it's because it's all bad.
It's not all bad.
Now it's not bad.
It's not bad.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah.
But I mean, I really like the original Halloween. Obviously, it's really good. It's a classic. You can't like talk about horror and how it is without mentioning Halloween and like how
it set up the tropes.
Yeah, exactly. Like for like serial killers and like babysitters getting murdered and all this stuff without talking about Michael Myers. And I liked the Rob Zombie ones. Like those were good.
You like? No.
Yes.
It did nothing for me.
Okay, that's fine, but I liked it.
Troubled childhood, blah blah blah. Just I don't like that they made it so cookie cutter.
But yeah, like I didn't see anything wrong with it. I liked it. It had good gore in it.
It had too much gore in it.
I'm okay with that.
I say as he curb stomped his like doctor in this one. That messed me up too.
Yeah, that was like legit a pumpkin, but that was great.
And the cutting off the policeman's head and making it jack-o'-lantern.
Oh my god, it was so good. Like, top tier horror gore. Like I loved it. But I really enjoyed this new Halloween, the sequel, whatever the heck, reboot you want to say it is. I really liked it. It was really good. I definitely saw a sequel coming as soon as it ended. Like as soon as we got out of the movie theater. Like there's no way that they're gonna get away with not making a sequel.
I don't know.
And like I accepted that after the movie, and I was like, all right, this is probably gonna have a sequel, but I'm still not happy about it because it was such a good ending, the way that it ended. Obviously.
All right, before we get to the main topic, really quick, just would you rather, since they're coming back, right? The females are coming back.
Yeah.
Would you rather they be the center of the story? Like, do you want him to go hunt them down, or do you want him to just leave them alone and they play like a finding him part?
If they're gonna be in the movie, then I don't want them to be just a side story. Like, if they're coming back and they're gonna be part of the story, then they need to be the main part of the story. Because I hate when anything, I don't care if it's horror or comedy or whatever the hell, like TV show, I don't care what it is. I hate when it originates from
Something.
one story and then they try to make something new, but they still try to plug in those characters and kind of make it to where they're pertinent to the story, but they're really not.
Yeah.
I hate when they do that because you're trying so hard to make them important and make them fit into your new story that you lose sight of your new story. So if Michael's gonna escape whatever or come out of the woods and like murder
Come
people
from the ashes of Laurie's home.
Yeah, if he's gonna come out and not care that they tried to kill him and go murder some new people, I don't want Laurie and her daughter and granddaughter to be like, oh my god, he's back, like we gotta go stop him because he's like our boogeyman.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna be like, if they got out, then be out. You
I
know,
get you.
like the only one that came like can justifiably come back is Laurie because that's what this sequel did. She never let it go, and she was always waiting for her chance for Michael to come for her.
You think?
Like, that was the entire point. So the only one that logically could make sense would be Laurie, to always keep tabs on him, to always, like, see if he's going to come back. But for all three of them to come back, I think it's just not good.
They have to be centric.
Yeah, they have to be centric. Like, he has to be like, all right, well, I'm not going to murder random-ass people all the time.
But if they're there,
then sure, I'll kill them. But like, these are my goals.
right? Because this time he didn't bother looking for Laurie. Laurie found him, and that's
so
when he was
if that's the story, then I'm cool with that and them being part of it. But I don't want them to just be like peppered in to try and make it connect.
Well, we're done with open endings, and now we're on official
the year
endings.
of endings.
See, I'm kind of sad I took your horn because that would have been good for it.
Don't worry, I got you.
You went overboard. I had to. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, you suck.
So, in order, our endings. This is mostly trilogies, sagas. A quadrilogy, I guess, if you want to get technical. But
yeah,
we got Avengers in April. Mm-hmm. John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. I really don't like that they added
words.
a word. Yeah. I like John Wick Chapter 3. X-Men Dark Phoenix as the last Fox movie. Because I think
we'll speak on that.
Okay. Toy Story 4.
Mm-hmm. It Chapter 2.
It Chapter 2 and Star
then
Wars.
Star Wars Episode 9 do not have a title yet.
Title to be determined.
Soon, I hope. At least.
I don't know, man.
At least. So let's start with Avengers.
Yeah, back to
Since
Avengers.
it's coming soon.
The culmination, 10
Of
years.
10 years.
23, 24
Which we have
movies.
to say, it's not a definitive end, obviously, because there will be Marvel movies continuing after this, but it is an end of an era. It's an end of, like, some of these characters we don't know yet. In a, like, renewed, like, of new characters. I don't know. Like, there's going to be new characters after this, and, like, Captain Marvel, obviously, and Ant-Man probably will continue for a while.
They said they were going to get more cosmic.
Okay, so maybe, like, Nova Corps are going to have more.
I hope so. You
In
get
it.
that Mexican representation in.
Heck yeah, boy. Boom, 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 boom.
And Peter could get him as a friend if they go, like...
Yeah, like the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah.
But this is the end of an era. This potentially is an end to the original Avengers team that we know and love, so that's why it's on this list. It's not actually an ending.
Plus and minus Rhodey and Rocket, right?
Yeah.
That's like... Or, I guess, and Ant-Man. Those are the only additions.
Or maybe even Vision.
Well, Vision's dead.
For
now. But, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this ending, because I'm hoping a character dies. I don't think that he's going to die. You know, the main source of problems for all things MCU. Looking at you, Tony. But
we'll be very open. Both of us, neither of us
one,
actually like Tony Stark.
yeah, no,
As a character.
he's just a terrible person.
Kind of want him to die now. Which is really mean, and I feel like that's really mean to say, but Tony as a character is just not my favorite. He just makes a lot of problems for everybody.
Completely destructive.
Literally the entire problems of all of this basically been Tony's fault.
He did, everybody gets mad at Star-Lord for losing his cool and bashing Thanos' head. But
like, can we not forget about Ultron, and the only reason he was created was because it's Tony's fault?
Well, not even that. Like, Tony did the same thing when he learned that Bucky killed his mom and dad. And,
he just went crazy.
Yeah, he literally went crazy and, like, almost murdered...
It was like,
he blew off his arm.
Don't try to tell me that Tony's a good person. Sure, he has some redeeming qualities from the first one, from the first Iron Man.
He's
but
like the worst case of overcorrecting.
Yeah, yes. He's just not what I agree with.
But yeah, we learned that this takes place years after, a couple years, or like a decent amount of time after.
Yeah, we don't have a specific time set, but after
the Super Bowl promo where it's like, people will forget, but we won't.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess probably like 3 or 4 years after.
What does that mean for like Captain Marvel though? Like where that
like why did it take her 3 to 4 years to get there?
I guess that's just some long distance calling, right? That pager has to go like galaxies away.
I mean, that could be something that they say. I would think that that's a valid excuse.
You don't think Fury at some point would be like, hey man, we invented these phones, they're mobile, they move around. So
why would they work in space though? You're out of your cell service range.
Yeah, but like I was about to make a like say Star-Lord has his stuff, but that's all like super old stuff.
Yeah, it's all like
no, hold up. What was it, a Zune? Right? That's what it was.
You don't use Wi-Fi for a Zune.
No, but you can't plug it into a spaceport on your ship.
You don't think that they would have figured that out, though?
I don't think they would have figured that out.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
That doesn't make sense to me. So if you may as well use the pager and be like, hey, I don't know if this will get cellular service out there, but just in case, take this.
Anyways, whatever. Avengers Endgame. Yeah. That's happening. How do we feel?
I'm
going into it.
Sad. Or I'm
prepared to cry many tears.
I don't know that.
That's actually from like almost so many movies on this list.
You're not going to cry from John Wick. I know that for sure.
I mean, if somebody comes for his dog again...
What about
Heck yeah, I will.
What about Halle Berry's dogs?
Yeah, exactly. Any of these animals get hurt, I will be bawling.
Okay, yeah, I guess. But for Avengers...
But Avengers, I'm prepared to cry, and I know I'm going to cry. I know somebody's going to die. I don't know who it is.
If they have like a mega moment, like when Thor screams, "Bring me Thanos," I'll tear up because that is beautifully shot. It is beautifully cinematic. It was like something out of a video game, right? That's like what I've wanted my entire life. So that was fantastic. Not that I'll cry for it, but the combination of like Spider-Man and Doctor Strange's powers, the like magic, more magic with a kick, like all that, like just like make me laugh. I'm ready to see like cool power plays. I don't know that I can see how they're going to combine their powers, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know, because...
I'm ready for some comedic relief from Rocket.
Yeah, because the way the comics go and the different, like, Infinity
events
stuff in the comics, they've taken elements from all of those runs, so it's hard to be like, as a comic fan, be like, well, they're clearly going to go with this route because of so-and-so, because you can't. They've literally taken elements
from everything,
from all of it, so you have an idea of like where it potentially could go, because you know like these events happened.
Yeah, and they've come out and said like, guys, we really appreciate the comic fans, but we're never going to fully adapt an arc. We're just going to take elements.
That's fine, because like it's a movie, it's different, and you have the comics to love.
It's why we haven't got a decent video game movie, and like no one's salty about that, like myself.
Yeah, but I think Marvel, has been really good about taking elements, like especially, oh my god, like it's with Civil War, like that comic run, like the original Civil War comic run, they did really good with taking elements from that comic run and making it into a movie and making it make sense. So, like, I'm confident that they're going to do the same thing with all this Infinity War stuff, but, like, there is no like, well, I read the comics, I know what's gonna happen.
Right,
Like, it
because
isn't like a book.
I was like, there's no way Civil War is gonna happen because they don't have enough
And
characters.
then me over here was like, oh, it's gonna happen.
They
Like, I know it's happening.
Introduced Peter, they introduced Black Panther. It was just such
They
BS.
did everybody that was important enough in the Civil War comic run to happen, and I was like, it's happening, don't fight me on it. And Jorge
Mad.
did fight me on it.
Non-stop.
But I was right, so whatever.
We saw that trailer and she was like, I told you! Just top of her lungs, rubbing
Yeah.
it in my face.
I think it was like after Winter Soldier, I was like, yeah, I think they're leading to Civil War.
And I was like, nah, they don't have enough characters for that. And boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, you were wrong. So I'm right sometimes.
You know what's gonna make me cry?
Huh.
If-
Rocket?
Well, yeah, Rocket, but if you see that Rocket tried to, like, grow a tree again.
Oh my god, yes.
If he tried to grow another little
He
Groot.
drew a little Groot. Oh.
Because just when he lost first Groot and Drax is patting him on the head and he's crying, I was like, ah, my heart.
Yeah.
Oh, animals, they always get me.
But Avengers, I'm ready to cry many tears. It looks really dark, and I'm actually really excited about it.
It's for the art, Daisy. Clearly, it's dark, and at the very end, just like Thanos, you're gonna see that shining sun.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's like overall, it is literally very gray.
It's probably because of all the ash.
Mhm.
Just, it's in the air.
Yeah.
Everyone's breathing it.
Like after a volcano or something.
Exactly.
Yeah. It makes sense.
It's a little messed up.
Like, oh, I ran into some ash. That's my Uncle Greg.
Oof. Uncle Greg.
R.I.P. A real one.
Anyway, moving on. Next, I don't know how to transition to that. But we'll,
Avengers Endgame. Very good. Many tears. Next.
hopefully laughs, my dear sweet rabbit. Shooting on.
None of the laugh people are going to be in it.
Rocket is in it, and so is Thor. Together,
Thor only recently got laugh.
who cares? Thor is a comic genius.
Okay, first off, I have some thoughts about that, but okay.
Anyway, shooting on. See? Next one.
Ah.
Brr, 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 brr.
See, you have my phone. Like, you could do
are
it
you
yourself.
Oh yeah, I guess I could. John Wick, Chapter 3.
John Wick, yes.
Okay, so in our most anticipated, you said you did not watch the second one. You
And
didn't
we
see-
did.
We did.
And
You said it was not a guy movie, which I appreciate.
it's not a guy movie like
There's
Predator
no-
is.
There's no weird hardcore military talk.
Yeah, but it is very, like, action-y, and I just personally don't really like a lot of action movies. Like, specific action. Like, if it's a superhero movie, then I expect action. But, like, if it's just a action movie, I'm not very interested in it.
Were you as invested in this as you were the first one? The second one, I mean.
Um,
Or did the whole dog murder and car stealing, did that make it personal?
that made it so personal. Like, his wife just died. He got him a puppy.
She got him a puppy.
She got him a puppy. They came
It was
in-
named Daisy.
Exactly, like, that's my name. Like, how can I not take that personally? They came in and wrecked all his stuff, and then, oh my god, I literally had to look away when all the puppy stuff happened because I
Yeah.
could not, and I started crying. Like, I wasn't even watching it, and I started crying. Like, couldn't look at the screen, but I was bawling because it was so sad, and I was like, you killed those.
I think I had you
killed
cover
those
my
motherfuckers."
ears.
Yeah, because it was just so, like, it was just so much, and I was just like, so it was real easy to get, like, real personal.
Get
with the
real
first
invested
one.
in
Yeah,
it. Like,
to get
he
real invested.
completely deserved that revenge.
He just went through so much shit. All he had from his wife was this little puppy named Daisy, and you messed that shit up and took his car.
Yeah. the less personal part, took his car.
But, like, and, like, no, but obviously, like, the people he was going after didn't know all of those things. Like, they were just like, well, he's trying to get after his car. Like, all we did was steal his car. Why
Russian
is he coming?
mobsters.
Exactly, but it's like, you know why he's doing all these things. So, of course, I'm more invested in it. But the second one was good.
You knew why he was going after Santino, though? Because he blew up the house. Again, the only thing that he has.
The only thing he had left.
Literally, because his car was back in the
Boy
shop.
made it out.
Boy always makes it out.
Boy is so cute.
Boy's just like Cleo, but
For
gray.
context, Boy looks exactly like Cleo, except Cleo is brown and Boy is gray, and that's it. But other than that, exactly the same. And Cleo's a girl.
Same behavior, too, because Boy's pretty
Pretty obedient.
pretty docile, passive.
And
not
Cleo's
aggressive
the
at all.
same with me. Specifically.
Yeah, not me. She talks back to me, but it's alright.
But it's fine. But yeah, the second one, we started it and I was kind of just like, meh, like whatever, I'm not really in it. But like almost any movie you watch that I don't really want to watch after like 20 minutes, I'm like, all right, what's
You're-
gonna happen?
Right. Once the initial grenade goes off,
Yeah, and
and he storms the Continental.
yeah, and for somebody who doesn't like action movies, I'm a very violent person, and if somebody wrongs me, I also want to just kick their ass. So whenever anything happened to John Wick, I was like, yeah, punch him in the throat, and like he was like killing people like constantly, and I was like trying to go further than he was in the movie.
You're just imagining it. You're like, you don't know how to stop at shooting him. Put your fingers in and just tear.
Yeah, I was like, just,
Oh my
like you
God.
shot him in the head, like also like kick him, like do some extra stuff, like. So once I got into it, I was into it, and it was a good movie. I don't think it was as good as the first one, but obviously the ending warrants a third movie, and I'm really interested to see how the hell he's gonna try to outrun all of these assassins.
That entire was it Central Park, where
Yeah.
they all stop and just stare at him.
They literally were all in on it, and
Yeah.
like you kind of got a glimpse of that in the second one whenever that Italian dude set just the assassins in like New York City on him.
Oh yeah. The sumo guy.
Yeah, like all of like that whole little montage, and like he got it, he did it, but like
You didn't see the pencil stuff though.
no, I didn't because I cannot handle that.
After
That is
Heath
too
Ledger's
far for me.
Joker.
Yeah, no, too far for me.
You want to see a magic trick?
Nope. Not doing that. But that was really good. I'm really curious to see how he's gonna handle a whole literally a whole world going after him, because it went international, and like they said in the second one, like you get out, you die.
Once you get, there's no getting out. It's just death.
You die. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That is your get out. So, but if anyone can get out and not die, it's definitely John Wick. So I'm really about it.
I'm really interested to see him have a partner. I'm excited for
Yeah,
Halle
because he
Berry.
always does everything on his own.
Yeah. I'm excited to see how Halle Berry kind of ties into
Mm-hmm.
it, because her and one of the High Council members, who I am blanking on her name, but you've seen like promos with her holding, no, she was in the trailer. She had like John was holding up something to her, and it looked kind of biblical, which wouldn't surprise me because apparently this stuff goes back.
Yeah.
But I'm really excited to see him have a partner after him being alone and only having dogs for 2 movies.
Not even really having dogs, because
Daisy passed away pretty quick, and then Boy stayed at the Continental.
Yeah, Boy just kind of follows him around, and when he says stay, he stays.
He stays.
What a good boy. Like,
Right.
Yes, boy.
I'm just excited to see him throw more guns at people when he runs out of ammo.
Oh my god,
because
that's my favorite thing. Like, he does not. He's like,
nothing will stop
nothing
me.
is gonna stop him. Like, he's gonna shoot all his bullets. He's gonna throw his gun at you, and then he's gonna hit you in the face with his hands.
Yeah, just choke you out. Mm-hmm. So John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. I'm hyped.
Yeah,
I hope he has a happy ending.
I mean,
will.
After seeing the second one, I don't think I'm as hyped as you, but I am like excited to see it. Like,
Would
I
you
do
at
want to
least
see it
say-
in theaters.
Would you at least say it's set up for a good third, with it being he has 1 hour to get out of New York and as far away as
Yeah, I
possible?
think so. Because in the trailer, you see that he's not in New York anymore at some point. Like, he actually gets out.
International somehow.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you know that he does get out of New York, which is really sets up for that movie to, like, kick in and automatically
Intense, just
be intense the entire time. And that's really good and awesome. And Keanu Reeves is dope. So,
Yeah, it was a really intense trailer. Just the ticking in the background. Just,
yeah.
Doc, we only have
I think
like
it's
2
gonna-
minutes, 30
It's
seconds.
gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I didn't think I was gonna be hyped about it, but like I feel like now I'm invested, and I wanna make sure he has like a nice.
If he dies.
He gets out and he has a nice life, and he can just live in the countryside and think about his wife with his dog. You know.
It's going
That's
to
the
transition into that movie with Winona Ryder where they accidentally got married.
Exactly. That's the ending I want it to be. Like, if he dies, I'm gonna be really sad, and
Yeah.
I will cry.
Could you imagine going through all that and then just...
And then you die.
If he's killed, I think it's one thing. I think if he lets himself die, I'd be...
Yeah.
That's probably more satisfying.
Like if he
Like, that's
if,
his freedom.
Like if someone like kills him, but then he's like, you know what? I'm done with this shit. Like I don't want to do this anymore. And I finally realize there is no out.
There's no
and he
peace.
just lets himself
Yeah.
be, so he can finally be with his wife. I think that would be really beautiful, and I probably will cry at that too.
But the director did say if it makes money, he could see himself making John Wick movies for the rest of his life. Not that I'd be mad about that.
I mean, I'm a little mad about that.
Like I said,
I
said,
just don't really like cash grabs.
as we just talked
As
about
long
with
as
Halloween.
as long as they stay consistently good and they don't get bad, then okay, fine, maybe.
Kind of like with Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Not that
I've never seen any of them.
Not that I hear that they're bad.
But I'm thinking more like Saw.
People kind of got tired of Tom Cruise, and I don't see people getting tired of Keanu Reeves.
No.
Maybe it's because he's not trying to outdo everything. Maybe it's because it's not like superhuman things where he's like leaping across buildings at his age.
Yeah,
and
maybe
it's just
he's
gunfire.
He's not trying to be like just a weirdo.
I thought you were going with like he's not trying to be Spider-Man at the age of like 60 or something, but sure.
I feel like Tom Cruise really feels like he has to prove something to himself or to people, and it's like, nobody's telling you can't do these things. Just please stop.
Keanu's just this guy that wants to shoot some guns and save some dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, so John Wick Chapter 3, scale from like 1 to 10, how hyped are you?
You didn't even do a scale for Endgame.
Because that's 10.
Okay, yeah.
Is that even a question?
No, I know, but like...
We've waited how many years for this?
So...
Thanos has been teased since 2012.
Oh my god, I haven't even thought about that.
I think it was 2012, yeah.
Yeah.
He's been teased.
Crap, man. I
for
didn't even...
7...
Like, I know it's been something they're leading to for a very long time, but I didn't even think about, like, the amount of years that it's been leading to this.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Oh, shit, okay. Yeah, obviously. That's a 10.
So, 10.
Yeah, obviously. But John Wick, from 1 to 10, I think it's like a 7 for me.
10. I love these movies. Not all of these are 10. I won't lie.
Yeah, I agree.
But if going based off my most anticipated, you'll know what I'm hyped for, like, to the max.
Yeah.
John Wick is definitely one of them.
Okay, next.
X-Men. Don't we have words about this? Let's start it off with this. I'll start off with this. So, Dark Phoenix is confirmed for release. The producer, or the former producer of the X-Men series, talked to Collider, said that is for sure happening. I think she said New Mutants is for sure happening.
Okay.
But everything after that is in Kevin Feige's hands, and Kevin Feige started on X-Men with her, the original X-Men. So she said, like, it's in his hands. She trusts him with it. She trusts him to do whatever he has to integrate it, make it better, make it evolve into something. We've seen Magneto and Professor X repeatedly,
countless times,
and now we're going to see Dark Phoenix for the second time. So
but hopefully,
it's not going to be
slightly better.
I don't know that I'd say slightly better, but
okay.
No, it'll definitely be slightly better because Wolverine's on it. There's no weird love triangle. Scott Summers isn't gonna miraculously
the first like original X-Men trilogy in like the early 2000s was good, but like the way they did the Dark Phoenix, I didn't like, because it literally was just like it just appeared. Not that in this version it didn't kind of do the same thing where it just appeared.
I think it was good in this that she was fighting Apocalypse.
Yeah, but
as opposed to
also,
it just
like,
happening.
In this new X-Men one, you kind of see in the trailer anyways, you get more of a background on Jean Grey and how she got to Xavier's school and all this stuff, so there is like more of a chance for them to be like, well, this is where it came from.
Right.
Than in the like the older X-Men movies. So there is a potential for it to be better. But this is just so hard for me because I genuinely love the X-Men so much. Like that is my thing. Like when I started reading comics,
that you started with all new X-Men, right?
I started
when Marvel's entire lines were all new, blank.
Yeah, I started with the all new X-Men and like the Young Avengers. Those were like the first two comics comic runs that I read and like genuinely kept up with. And I still have like all of my copies of the all new X-Men like at my mom's house. So I genuinely love the X-Men so much. Like they're my favorite in like Marvel, and for it to just be so bad consistently so bad. Like I mean movies? Days of Future Past was good, like,
and First Class
was good. Like those movies were good. I get behind those, but like
how many movies are there? So there's 3 of those,
the like 2000s ones. Yeah,
Then there's Apocalypse, Days of Future Past, and First Class. And then there's going to be Dark Phoenix.
And then there's like some Wolverine movies in there that kind of like tie in, but they don't really.
Well, I mean, if you're going to tie in Wolverine, you may as well tie in like Deadpool too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all
they're technically
somehow
all X-Men.
together.
Yeah.
That cameo though, where it's like, wow, almost like you can't afford a budget for like all of them.
And they're right behind him. Like I love that so much, and they were just like, ooh.
Yep, just close the door quietly.
But it makes me really sad that I know that this movie probably won't be good.
Gotta have optimism, man. Commit to
I
your
literally try
team.
to have optimism all the time.
How long have you been a
And
fan
then
of
I
the
get
Cowboys?
shut down all the time.
How many
entire
times?
life.
How many times?
Since I've been alive, never.
There you go. You need that dedication.
Yeah, but I just love it. I love the X-Men so much, and there's so many amazing characters and so many amazing powers, and like there's so much they can do, and they kind of touch on it obviously with like the racism that they experience being mutants versus superheroes. They kind of touch on that on like
That
those
segregation,
movies.
all
Mhm.
those things.
Yeah, and like that stuff. They touch on it a little bit. But like there's just so much potential for it, and it's just like they just lose it. Like they try to make it just this big thing.
They try to make
and
everything a big event, but there's no lead up to the event.
Exactly. Like it's this one movie is the big event, and like the like hour before the big event happened, like the third act is the only build up you get, which in some cases can work obviously, but it depends on your villain.
Right. And they choose apocalyptic villains, which I guess Marvel does too. That's unfair to say, because right, like, not that Loki tried to destroy the world, but yeah, the Destroyer in the first Thor that like tried to blow up the small Arizonian town.
Yeah.
Cat faced Nazis. They wanted to blow up New York.
Or
I guess
Mexico?
the goal is to. Oh, it was New Mexico.
Yeah.
You're right. The goal is to not have them blow up the world, have
But
them
just
blow up
a little
city,
part of
yeah,
the
or a
world.
state. Stop there,
And then go big like
then
Thanos.
elevate.
So with like Marvel getting the rights to it, I hope that they can really like elevate it and make it better.
All right, we're back. Another doggo interruption, as per usual.
When don't we have one?
But they're chilled now. They've been watered and fed. I think you might hear the big one whistling herself to sleep, but she's
She does
good.
that.
Yeah, she has her big cozy blanket.
She just really likes to cuddle, and when we're not there to cuddle, she's a little upset. You know, your regular dog stuff.
I don't know about that. My dog's pretty independent. Anyway,
Anyways, X-Men.
X-Men going
Going
to
to
Marvel.
Marvel. Yes. Jinx.
I can't talk now.
You just talked.
Well, I'm talking telepathically.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Anyways, X-Men going to Marvel. Thoughts?
I'm hyped. I'm ready. It's not going to happen for like 3 to 4 years. I think Feige's already said that, assuming
Yeah.
that Feige stays with Marvel. Cause
Yeah.
I think he's out after Homecoming. After
Homecoming?
one. Yeah, it's not after Endgame, because I think this is his last year. Either this is last year or next year is last year. But I want to say it's this, because Homecoming's the last one that's confirmed.
Homecoming?
Sorry, Far From Home.
Yeah.
Far From Home is the last one that's confirmed, because Black Widow is supposedly in the works. They have all the Disney Plus stuff in the works, but I don't know that Feige is going over that, because they had two separate groups. Well, they had one guy that ran Shield and one guy that ran MCU. So I don't know what's happening as far as like the extras, but I just know Far From Home is the last confirmed movie.
Okay, well. Yeah, I also am excited about X-Men going to Marvel, even if that does mean I have to wait for a reboot for a couple of years.
Give it time to settle.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a hot topic in a bad way.
yeah, I love them. I love the movies. Like, even, I know that they're not the best, but I just love the X-Men so much that I can't not
It's like Spider-Man
like
3.
the movies. Yeah, like, that is, like, my thing. Like, those are the characters that I love the most and the ones that I resonate the most. And if I'm going to read any stories, it's going to be about the X-Men. Like, those are my favorite. So even if I have to wait, like, 3 to 5 years to get another X-Men movie when they reboot it, then that's fine with me.
Cleo.
She's also passionate about the X-Men.
It's because you're so negative right now. She feels it.
Yeah.
Gotta find your balance, man. Gotta find your zen.
Yes.
Deep breaths.
But I'm still gonna watch The Dark Phoenix. I am still.
Of course, you're gonna watch Dark Phoenix.
Yeah, of course I am. I'm curious, and the New Mutants. Like, I'm very curious.
Because that's horror.
Yes, exactly. So it's like an element on top of something I already love. So I'm very curious to see what they do with that. I'm excited about it, even if it's not, the best movie out there. I'm still gonna like it, probably.
This is like my 6 to 7 out of 10. This is like my not.
I mean, it wouldn't be a 10 out of 10 for me still.
I know it's
but
not,
it is
but like,
still up there. Yeah.
Is it higher than 7?
No.
It's not.
It's a 7.
It is 7.
Yeah.
That's still passing.
Yeah, it is.
This is. I think I'm gonna lock it in at 6. Like, I really also don't like Sophie Turner's American accent.
Yeah, she hasn't really nailed that.
No, and McAvoy did it pretty swimmingly. He even did it for. He did Brooklyn and everything for what's it called, for Glass and Split.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
I don't have as much words to say aside from it's coming out. I'm glad it's been bought. I'm glad it's moving on. I'm not sorry about it at all. But I've enjoyed my time with the X-Men I've been given. We got Hugh Jackman, perfect. McAvoy was a good. Xavier, Patrick Stewart, great. Xavier, Fassbender, and Ian McKellen were great Magnetos. You could totally see them evolving into those people, and their backstories, like their origins as far as First Class went, and I like the dark place they took McAvoy in. What was it, Days of Future Past? Where he was like taking a serum and repress his powers and everything. Yeah, I thought it was great. So I'm excited for the end in the whole put it out of its misery way, and looking forward to the future.
Yeah.
But now let's get to something that'll really bring some tears.
Toy Story 4.
Toy Story 4. Toy Story was my favorite Pixar when I was little. That and A Bug's Life. Those were my 2 go-tos. I had a Woody. He had the string. He always had a snake in his boot. Great. Iconic stuff.
To this day, love Toy Story with my entire heart.
I didn't cry during Toy Story 3.
You're not human. You don't have a heart, because I
wasn't
literally
there.
cried so many times during Toy Story 3, specifically. It was... If they ended it with Toy Story 3, that'd be fine, because that was amazing.
Toy Story 4 necessary?
But I selfishly
You're going to say it's
4.
necessary?
It's not necessary. It is not necessary at all. There is no reason for them to make this other movie. But selfishly, because I do not want to let these characters go, I do not want to get rid... I don't want to not be in a world where Woody and Buzz do not exist anymore.
You don't think they'd reboot it in like a couple years?
I mean...
They're going to find him in an attic? Dusty?
I mean, maybe in 20 years, I can see them doing, bringing them back.
Ooh.
But, Tom Hanks... it can't... nobody else... in my mind, nobody else could be Woody like Tom Hanks could be, and nobody else could be Buzz, Tim Allen. They are so iconic to my childhood, and I just love them so much, and I'm about to cry just talking about it.
Pause.
I love them.
I'm gonna pitch you something. Okay, 20 years now, toys are out, right? Because toy sales are already going down all over the place.
Yeah, it's all about electronics.
So in a digital age, or more like a future digital age, where it's holograms, this and that, whatever.
Bring them back as a video game or something.
Not bring them back as a video game. Just find them somewhere. They're...
Well, that makes sense.
That'd be cool. Just,
Yeah.
put them... do you think Buzz would feel at home? He'd be like, yeah, this is, what Star Command looked like.
You're like, this is what I grew up knowing. This is what I was programmed as. What are you talking
Woody's
about?
like, Buzz, well, where are we? And he's like, Woody,
and
we
he,
reached
Buzz
infinity and
finally
beyond.
takes the lead, and he's like, I know things for once.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I can, if it makes sense in the coming years for a new generation of kids, then sure. But, for me, now, I selfishly don't want it to end. So I'm okay with the Toy Story 4. It's not necessary at all. They could have ended it at Toy Story 3.
I'm sorry, did you just say that you didn't like cash grabs?
Yes. But this is different. This is personal.
Toy Story 5.
This is my childhood.
This is personal.
This is my childhood. So it's different. And it's going to be really difficult to see like their owner be Bonnie versus Andy. Like that's gonna be weird for me because I've already seen like shorts like I'm not sure what the short is called, but where they go like on a cross country trip, and I think Woody accidentally gets left behind at the hotel that they're staying at, and it's like a short where he has to deal with the toys that were forgotten until Bonnie comes back for them and things like that. Like,
isn't that how he ends up finding Bo Peep?
In the new movie, potentially. Yeah, probably.
That's like the synopsis, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, they made a short.
To explain it. Interesting.
It came out a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not recent.
Okay, so maybe they just expanded on that story.
Maybe.
That's interesting.
But yeah, that was one of the shorts, and then another one was like a Halloween short or like a movie that came out.
That.
Yeah, that has it like where it's their transition. They are with Bonnie now versus with Andy, and just watching those is really weird for me because Andy has always been their owner, and
you don't
like,
see that red cowboy hat
yeah,
anymore.
and it's like, and it's very different for me, and like that, I'm sure that aspect of now they're with Bonnie is gonna be very like
off-putting.
Yeah, because she's not Andy. Like this isn't.
She made Forky, so clearly the toys aren't like. She wants something from her own imagination.
Yeah, because Andy never did that. Like he made the stories up, but he used all his toys.
Andy
that
was
he
a little
had.
older though. You know, Andy. When we first see Andy, he's like maybe
probably like 7
Yeah.
or 8.
He's a
older.
little bigger.
Yeah.
And same thing for Sid.
Yeah.
But Sid was twisted.
Yeah, he's messed up. So like seeing my like these characters that I grew up with being with somebody new is probably going to be off-putting. But seeing them in general, is something that I can't give up.
Okay, I'll take over for this because clearly you're almost in tears and it's getting to you. So I'm not gonna lie, I think I've only seen Toy Story 3 in its totality once.
You're messed up, and we're gonna watch it. And I'm gonna cry many tears.
And the first time I watched it, didn't get to me. I don't know why. I can't really speak to it not getting to me. It just like didn't speak the same way I guess it did to me that it did to you. There wasn't like a sense of finality. I
think it was also the story.
It was a lot because it came out when we were graduating, right? 2014?
No.
Yes.
Not when we were graduating. It came out like sophomore year.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like finished like when we finished because it was like we grew up with it. Blah, blah.
It was that story like we grew up and we were basically Andy, but
Andy
like
was older than us.
yeah, he is.
That's
like
crazy.
But basically the whole thing is that anyone who grew up watching Toy Story, either they were already off to college or about to be off to college, like we were.
Well, I guess since I was born 95 and you were born 96, that makes more sense.
Yeah, but no, it came out like sophomore year.
Okay. Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie. I've never had to give up like my main toys. All right, final doggo interruption. Anyway, I've never had to give up my toys, so to speak. Like
yeah, you still have them.
Well, okay,
For most of the part.
But like my toys weren't as important. But next to Daisy right now is a little, like a really roughed up stuffed Dalmatian my grandma gave me. That would be the closest thing I had to a Woody or Buzz. That was like my thing. So, you know, it wasn't as relatable. The end in my mind wasn't near for me. Not like that, but you know, like the growing up thing. Because like at my age, 23, I'm still not grown up. I'm still just...
Well, yeah, but that movie came out when we were like 15.
No, sophomore? Oh, well, yeah, you're a youngin', sorry. I was 16. Anyway, but you know what I mean? Like, the friends, the whole, like, idea of having to lose
maybe
friends
because also you, like, never really experienced, like,
loss?
the fear of growing up.
No, yeah, I've always embraced that kind of stuff, and, like, the thought that I'd ever lose my friends was never, like, predominantly there, especially with, like, graduation coming and this and that. Like,
yeah.
Because let's face it, once you're in high school, everybody's like, all right, graduation, get ready for it. Get ready for the world.
Yeah.
AP stuff.
I know. I wasn't. Whenever they were like Toy Story 4, I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, it's just going to be like a continuation of the toys that I've always loved. Like, continuing whatever their toy life is. It wasn't until recently that like when Tom Hanks was like, yeah, I like recorded my last lines and every like the ending of the movie, like
He told
my
them
lines.
he told all the people in the voice room to turn the other way because he didn't want them to see it.
Yep, and then everybody just was so mad at him
Because
for the ending that I was like, oh crap, this is not gonna be a good time for me, and I'm gonna come out crying like a baby. So now I'm very like concerned about what is gonna happen to my favorite toys.
they're gonna end up in Bonnie's attic, and some future kid that has a hoverboard is gonna find them. And be
Let's
like,
hope, because that's the best case scenario.
whoa, bro, vintage or whatever slang they use.
Yeah.
Bro spelled with zeros.
But Toy Story 4 is a 10 out of 10 for me. Cannot wait. Even if I'm gonna feel a lot of feelings and cry, I am gonna enjoy the journey until it's over.
Pixar has never let me down.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched all of Monsters University. Not that I think it's bad, or not that I tried to like avoid it.
It's really good.
I've heard, obviously it's Pixar.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, right? It's like Marvel, where it's like, obviously it's Pixar, so like I have no apprehensions or like.
Yeah, but it's not like a sad movie like almost every other Pixar movie is.
There's problems in the feelings of people in Pixar.
You feel things, yeah, for sure, but you don't like. Monsters University isn't like one of those like I feel a lot of things.
Merida, Brave, Pixar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, like that was like I guess that could be touching, but like that
wouldn't make you cry.
Yeah, that did nothing for me. I just like bears.
Unless you have problems with your moms.
I got to practice my Scottish accent a lot with that. Mm-hmm. I'm not about to do it though.
Yeah.
I have to like soak it in.
Sure.
But yeah, I would say Toy Story 4 is definitely. I'll give it like a 7 or 8. I'm looking forward to it. I think I need to revisit the series to like kind of get me.
So we can marathon? Heck yeah.
I don't want you to cry like every movie.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I will cry. Okay, the first one doesn't make me cry at all. The second one, whenever Jesse's talking about
being abandoned.
Yes, that makes me really sad.
And then Toy Story 3.
And then Toy Story 3, I will bawl the entire time.
Oh my god. I might cry during Toy Story 3 now that I am an adult. But like...
I just don't understand how you didn't cry the first time you watched it.
I embraced the future, and I thought... Oh, okay, I embraced the future, and then I also thought it was super sweet that he was, like, able to let go, right? Because that's something that so many people struggle with. I was like, oh, Andy, you really grew up, man. Like, you let go of it. You were able to...
He let her have Woody.
Yeah, because he was almost like, oh, no. And
like,
then it was
this is mine.
Yeah.
Which I 100% get. But then Woody being like, so long, partner. I'm just...
Oh my god. Okay, we're transitioning. It's chapter 2. You're not crying. We're not doing this. I'm a sympathy crier. I'll hug you if you cry.
So we should watch it.
And I'll cry too. So that's a very good time.
Okay. Oh, something else that I very much love, but probably won't cry at. It chapter 2.
No, because it's all kinds of twisted.
I am. Oh boy, I'm so hyped for this movie. Oh yes, I freaking love It by Stephen King. Like I have a tattoo of the balloon, of the red balloon that is iconic to the movie because
you'll float too.
I love it. You will. So much, like not just on like the horror aspect of it, because obviously it's amazing for like horror, but just in general, like the story is just overall so good, and the like idea of like your childhood and like with your adulthood and all
that it never kind of goes away.
Yeah,
like
as much as you want to run away from it, you have to face all your childhood like demons.
Yeah. There's no escaping.
Yeah, and it's so good, and like it's just Stephen King is just amazing. Like the main horror to me in It, like the first movie specifically, like not even just the book, but it did really well at adapting the book into a film. Wasn't Pennywise. Like yes, he was terrifying. In like the concept of a freaking demon thing a demon clown that can transform into your worst fear is very terrifying. But what I think I love the most about it is that it also incorporates like real life fearful things into it. Like it's not just this
bullies, racism.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just the supernatural thing that's coming for these children. It's also their real life like struggles
And that people turn a blind eye
like,
to it.
Yeah, and that like some people don't care about like what kids are scared of because like, oh, they're just kids, they're scared of anything. And Pennywise uses that to his advantage, and that's amazing. And I'm really excited to see what they do with the second one, especially since the first one especially since the first one was so good and so book accurate, that I'm really excited to see what they do with the second part, especially since they're bringing back all the kids from the original to like,
I have
do
some
flashbacks.
hang-ups about that, though. Because it's like how we talked about like with the canon episode, where it's like, how much is too much? It's like, you can't go and retcon things. You can't go and try and fix things or like add things or anything like that.
Yeah, but Andy Muschietti has said... Andy Muschietti has said that the kids coming back for the flashbacks are all like what they experience in the first movie, but you might not have seen fully.
That doesn't that take away from it though? Because like Richie said, I'm scared of ... clowns, and then clown and
Which
it was
actually it.
Yeah, but with like Paul Bunyan, right? That's
And that scene is confirmed to be in the second one.
See, but that's kind of when he's an adult or when he's a kid.
No, when he's an adult. So maybe the flashback is
Mike hit.
So the flashback might be like he is also uncomfortable with Paul Bunyan as a kid, and like this is why as an adult this is happening. But like if you read the book, you definitely get way more in depth with all of their fears and stuff like that. So I think depending on how they do the flashbacks, obviously it could make a lot of sense.
You want to do spoilers for it?
For the book?
Well, if it's spoilers for the book, yeah, it's going to be the movie.
Yeah.
We'll do a quick like spoiler alert, spoiler warnings if you haven't read it.
I don't know anything about like the original content, I guess.
We'll give it, you get 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
5 minutes for spoilers, 5 minutes for everything you want to be in it that's in the adult part or everything like that.
Okay.
So 5 minutes starting in like 5 seconds. I guess. 5, 4, 3, 2. So you've been warned, spoilers are now.
Okay. So as adults, they come back to town and they're like, oh my god, he's back, blah, blah, blah.
Well, Mike calls them and they don't remember anything.
Yeah, they don't remember anything.
Scars on their hands.
Yeah, because as soon as they move out of the town, it's just gone. And like that's part of like Pennywise's magic that he holds over the town is like if you don't stay there, even if you stay there, he has a control over everybody in the town, like especially adults. Like you can see that in the first movie that they turn a blind eye to anything that's happening to the children specifically because he goes for children since they're easier to scare. And as soon as you move out, like it just fades to nothingness. Forever. And it's more apparent at the end of the book, once they do defeat him, they start... Oh, you didn't finish the book, did you?
I know how it ends, though. And
okay.
It kind of breaks my heart, though, because it's like, I know that Bill's like the last person that's spoken of, and it's like, sometimes he fondly remembers, like, odd, fuzzy childhood memories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was like, oh, you didn't even finish the book. I don't want to spoil it for you either.
And that makes me sad, because you would hope that there's like a...
That they kind of have some...
There's still some connection.
There's some connection because whenever they leave town, Beverly and Ben leave together.
Oh, well, okay, but there's a reason for that, too.
Yeah, obviously. But they leave together and you assume that they go and live their lives together. But as for everybody else and, like, how they are together. So for the rest of the kids... well, I guess they're not kids, they're adults.
They're kids at heart. They're kids while they're in dairy.
Only Bill.
Hi-ho, Sylvie.
But for everybody else, which really is just Richie.
Oh, yeah.
oh, Eddie.
I didn't see how Eddie died. I don't know that.
Very nobly.
Okay, well, that's good. Yeah, to spoil that. I'll finish the book.
Okay. But for the rest of the adults, I guess, once they leave, and even, like, oh my god, what's his name? Mike. Even for Mike, who stays in Derry and Bill, they both start forgetting because Mike has everything written down, obviously, in his book that you kind of see, like, I know you saw it, his journal entries and whatnot. All of that starts to fade away. Like, the
magically.
Ink, like, it literally starts fading away. He starts forgetting...
30 seconds.
both of them start forgetting their names for everybody. So, like, it's good, and I really want to see all of the things that they have to go through and, like, the traumatizing experiences that they have to relive, and, like, mainly the adult part is remembering all the children part, which isn't that good for a movie, but, like, that's why the flashbacks are a thing, and I just want them to see Face Off Pennywise. Okay.
Oh my god. You're too passionate about that.
I am very passionate about this movie.
Wait, no, was that already? Or did we start at 103?
I don't know, but...
Were you able to rattle off everything?
I think I got it all. Like, all the spoiler versions. But non-spoiler version is I really just want them to have that final face-off with Pennywise that they get in the book. That they kind of had in the movie that came out in 2017, but it wasn't quite what it was in the book. So I think that they did it that way intentionally so that when they do make the second part, it could be more of that, like, epic showdown that they had, because basically in the book what happened as children is just happening again as adults, but this time they succeed.
Oh, like finishing the job, like owning up to the fear and then finishing the job.
Yeah, like literally what they did as kids they did again as adults, but this time they actually succeeded in it and they weren't scared and, like, ran away.
The old one, because I guess, like...
The one with Tim Curry?
Yeah, because, like, if you haven't seen that, or you haven't seen this one, like, the story, all in all, is essentially the same.
Yeah.
That was the silver ball bearings. They actually used that, right?
Yes, they did.
Both times. Was it both times?
In the book?
No, in Tim Curry's movie.
They just used it as adults, I believe.
Because I remember, like, that weird scene where you see the spider in, like, the slingshot.
Yeah, that was really bad.
And I was like, what just happened?
But in the book, they only did that one time. They didn't do it in the, like, final showdown with Pennywise.
Oh, okay.
It was, like, they, like, confronted Pennywise in the house at Neibolt Street.
Again.
For the first time. Like, all of them.
Yeah.
And then they came back and did the sewers and whatnot. But yeah, so I think that's, like, I hope to see that in the second part, or, like, chapter 2, and I really would like... I think the flashbacks are going to be more of expanding their fears as adults and explaining why they're scared of that as adults, and going back to their, like, that summer, and kind of just explaining it, because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Anything else in that, then I think I can agree with you, would be kind of just, like...
retconning and unnecessary.
Reducing it, yeah.
I have... My only other hang-ups, which served the story, I guess, is that knowing how Beverly's dad was to her, and knowing how her future, you know, how that kind of colors it and stuff like that. It's going to be hard for me to watch. That is going to kind of mess me up.
Yeah, I hope they also, like, kind of do a little more focus on the, like, partners of the Losers Club, like Tom
Audra
and
Tom.
Audrey.
Is it Audra?
Audra?
I thought it was Audra.
It's Audra, yeah. You're right. That's such a weird name. But they kind of do a little bit more with both of them, because they didn't really get anything at all, honestly, in the books. They just were, like...
That wasn't their story.
They were just there to serve the story and further it, which, like, is okay or whatever, but for a movie, I think they might need a little... They can do a little bit more with them to get the characters where they need to be, and I feel like that's probably what they're going to do.
And then I guess the other thing, they said it's going to get weird. They said that... I think he said you're going to see Chud.
Ooh.
Or there'll be mentions of
because
Chud.
that's going to get real weird.
Yeah, so...
The whole,
the ceremony.
Spoiler, turtle ruling the universe.
I would love for nothing more than the turtle to rule our universe. If, as somebody that doesn't know what's going on up in the grand scheme of things, or doesn't subscribe to any specific thing, turtle, pretty dope, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was really funny. And the whole, like, in the second part, like, he's no longer there. Like,
right.
Take care of yourself, guys, sorry.
Turtle can't help us now.
Yeah.
So if they do that, I'm excited for the weird stuff.
Well, they did say, I did read an article, like, maybe a year ago, when filming first began, that he said that Mike specifically was gonna be kind of like a druggie, and, like, that was his way to suppress everything, because he's the only one that stayed in town.
I don't want that to happen to Mike, man. Mike
no,
was
I know,
like...
but the way that he said, like, the way he explained his vision for the second part before it started filming and all that stuff, before, like, it was where it is now, It made 100% sense to me. Like, if that's the way they go, it is different than what the book said, but
How else would you find Turtle Nirvana?
but it made sense. Like, for how they did the first movie and how they want to do the second movie, it made perfect sense for me for Mike to be like a drug addict and like get in connection with like that side of himself, I guess.
It's better than the smoke room or the smoke hole.
Yeah, with him and Richie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd be down for that, right? Because I feel like Mike and
But that would have to be a flashback.
that's an okay flashback though because like,
it was never stated in the
yeah,
first book.
exactly.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like there's that book is so long,
right.
and not
Mine was 1,000 and like 1,200 pages.
Yeah, my book was like a smaller copy, and the words were way smaller, so I don't think it was that long, like in terms of page numbers. But but
it's
in
still
general,
dense,
it is a very
dense book.
long story with a lot of story to it, and not all of it is like important, I guess you
the
could
Shadow
say.
Man mentioned in that one. You know the connected like Man in Black. That's like in all of Stephen King's books.
Nothing that's coming straight to mind, but I'm sure it's in there somewhere. But there's a lot of stories that they went through because to me most of that book was their childhood.
It was all their childhood.
And them as children, and like maybe 5% them being adults. So there's
You're gonna chop it up into pie. It's like 10% Mike because he has his
and
his intermissions.
stories, yeah,
in interviews. 5%
and then like
adults.
5% like short stories.
Yeah. And then the rest is like straight kids.
Yeah.
Because I remember texting you and just being like, so when do we see them grow up? Because
They
I'm
don't-
like halfway through the book.
Yeah, they don't grow up until the very, very end, and like you get little snippets of them, obviously
Mm-hmm.
throughout the beginning of the book. But a majority of that is them as kids, so that's why I can see the flashbacks working for them because there is so much of them being children in that book that they didn't explore like at all.
I
in
think
the
they
first
just
one.
like how it was worded, it came off as it's going to expand on their memories, and I'm not down for that. Mm-hmm. Like their memories being what we were exposed to.
Yeah,
But if it's something like
before they became the Losers Club.
yeah, if it was something where they were still growing into the Losers Club, they're still getting to know each other and stuff like that, or even a little after and they had their little base
Yeah.
and hideout and stuff, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's not a retcon, that's not fixing anything, that's expanding.
Yeah, I definitely can see them doing that.
So,
like,
you know, I'm hoping for
because like
that.
the whole like
It'll also be modern.
sauna thing, whatever, and like Mike being like, "Oh, well, clearly I need to be high to understand these things," and he
Yeah.
becomes a drug addict or whatever. Like that makes sense to me. So
I don't know that I'd go that far, but sure.
I mean, for the story, it makes sense to me.
We'll see about that.
But 10 out of 10 for me. So
10 out of 10 for me as well.
oh, good.
It was a good movie. It was I wouldn't call it a horror movie.
So is that okay
nearly.
that it overshadows your birthday? Because
It
fun
does-
fact, It Chapter 2 comes out on September 2nd or September 6th
Yes.
of this year,
And It Chapter 1 came out on September 8th,
which is Jorge's birthday.
which is BS.
So it 100% got overshadowed by me
And then didn't The
because
Nun
of it.
also
Yes,
come out?
Their horror movies come out like you have the worst birthday.
For
Horror
you,
movies,
I have
for me being your wife,
the worst birthday.
because horror movies always begin the first weekend of September, which is always Jorge's birthday. So we always have to go watch these horror movies because I really want to. Even if they do land on his birthday, unfortunately.
It's fine. We have my birthday weekend planned. So, 3-day celebration's what you have to pay to go see It Chapter 2 and have it overshadow me.
I will do it because it is going to overshadow you, especially with the cast of it
Where's the love?
coming to Comic-Con.
You know what? It's fine because we're getting close. And by getting close, I mean we're on it. Daisy!
Yes.
December.
Oh, gosh.
December 20th
Oh.
comes episode 9. Now,
Yes.
you said that you would not be able to sit through 9 movies. I'm telling you now. If it's going to overshadow my birthday, episode 9 is definitely overshadowing your wishes. And I am sitting for 9 movies. And if you're not in the seat next to me, I'm sorry. But that's going to be where I put my lightsaber and my popcorn and nachos. I'll buy 2 seats. I don't care.
That is fine. I will join you when I'm not tired.
I'll sell it to somebody else. Don't worry.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I
Be
still
like,
want to see it.
well, you're not going to marathon, man.
Wait.
Where's the love?
Oh my God.
Daisy. Where's the love? You know where it is? In Derry. Not in a galaxy far, far away.
I'm gonna fight you.
Okay, well, this isn't a fighting podcast. We'll get to that later. Episode 9, the culmination.
Title unknown.
Title unknown. Star Wars Episode 9, title redacted. The culmination of the prequels, the OT, and the sequel trilogy, as stated by J.J. Abrams. The thing I have looking forward to the most. The thing I've been looking forward to since more Star Wars movies were announced. The thing I've been dreading because chances are we're not going to get another movie till 2022. Because like people that work on special effects and like the guy that works BB-8, he's like, my contract's up, or like this is it, this is goodbye for me. Like everybody that's been working on it, they're like, our contracts are up, it's time to say goodbye. So it's like they're not keeping them for more.
Yeah.
So I think they're, for the next, 2-3 years, they're going to rely on The Mandalorian, Cassian Andor, and the last season of Clone Wars.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that's coming back.
3 Star Wars things that are going to have to, I guess, last us for 2 to 3 years.
Those years, yeah.
Who knows?
Episode 9, though.
Culmination of everything.
Oh, boy.
What... If you could choose something from every trilogy you see, let's take out Leia. Not because Carrie Fisher's passed away.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
A reroll.
But just take out Leia because like let's just use something like old trilogy piece. Like we saw Vader's helmet, right? And to our knowledge, he never got rid of it. So prequel, OT, and then I guess not how you want to see it go down, but just some things that would tie it together in a way that would be satisfactory for you.
I don't even know anymore.
There's been so many rumors of Hayden Christensen coming back.
Boy, let me tell you.
Since Last Jedi was filming, there had been like, Hayden's coming back.
Yeah, Hayden Christensen is the love of my life.
Ouch.
Yes, I don't care. He's beautiful and I love him so much.
He hasn't aged well.
Says you.
He doesn't have that long hair, man.
That picture on the wall says otherwise.
Oh my god.
We met Hayden Christensen when we went
at Celebration
in Orlando 2 years ago. It was the best day of my life. Unfortunately, I couldn't see him because my contacts fucked up and I didn't want to wear my glasses in the picture, so he was slightly blurry, but I still got that hug.
Pause. Also, Daisy couldn't speak.
No,
she didn't say a word.
I could not.
She was crying. She was tearing up, and I was like, "Hey, man, we're really big fans. I loved you in Revenge." And I was like, "And she's your biggest fan. That's why she can't talk right now." And Daisy just stood there.
And I literally blacked out. I said, "Can I have a hug?" And he said, "Of course you can." And he hugged me. And after that, I have no idea what happened.
We got out. We got our picture. We got our picture.
We got our
bags.
And I did that well enough. I guess I was on autopilot. My smile looked good. I looked good in that picture. But after that, we got out, and I was like, holy shit, we just met Hayden Christensen, and I kind of just freaked out for like 30 minutes.
And tear streamed.
Yep.
It was hilarious.
It was really bad.
That was like you didn't even do that with the Phelps.
No, I didn't.
You love Harry Potter.
Harry Potter is my thing, and I didn't freak out that bad. But
Fred and George, man, R.I.P.
Like I had it together when I met them, and like after we took that picture, I was just smiling the rest of the entire time. But when we met Hayden Christensen, I really do not remember like most of that. Besides after getting that hug, because like that was a good day.
Did it smell like ash and children's
and
death?
Sand?
Oh my god.
Anyways, what was your question?
Hayden Christensen's rumored to come back, so that might be a way they tie the prequels to the sequels. Mm-hmm. I do want to see something Vader-ish with Kylo. I want to see the helmet back. I want to see him go to Vader's castle. I want to see something like that. It's the Skywalker saga's conclusion. Ben is, by association, the last standing Skywalker, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, technically he is Ben Solo, but I get what you mean.
Unless Rey's like, I will be a Skywalker, but like...
Where she's like,
she takes the name.
She's like, I'm gonna adopt the name, like, forget you.
I mean, it would have died with Shmi if she didn't have Anakin, so...
Yeah, I guess you're right.
You know, why not?
Well... I don't know in terms of, like, how it ties into the rest of them, because I think the movies so far have tied in with the originals really well. The prequels, not so much because nobody really wants to talk about them.
There's really just shots, right? Like where Kylo's storming Crate, and it reflects Anakin storming the Jedi Temple.
Things like that. Which, like, that's okay because I get, like, the prequels aren't everybody's, like, cup of tea. Like, personally, I like them. I don't think that they're that bad as people say they are.
Which is the worst?
I enjoy them. I don't know. I like them all. Okay?
You have to admit Attack's the worst.
It's not the worst, but it's not the best. But like nobody like they're never gonna reference the prequels in such an like openly like out there way. Like they don't want to talk about it anymore.
They don't want to talk about midichlorians.
They don't want to talk about the midichlorians.
But they will shoehorn Jar Jar. He's in the comic and he held a lightsaber, and now he's in the Star Wars Galaxies app game holding a lightsaber.
Oh, well,
you can play that.
That's a little weird.
They're like, you don't like Jar Jar? We got your Jar Jar right here.
That's literally me. Like, you don't like this character I made up? I'm gonna shove him down your throat.
Exactly.
But I don't really. If they're gonna tie it in any way more than they have, obviously it's gonna be in some way with the originals. I don't really care why or how. It's whatever. But what I do really want to see is I want to see Kylo die.
What?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
No redemption?
No.
No Vader? No tell your sister you were right moment?
Nope.
No tell my mom that she was right?
Nope. I want to see him cut
break
down.
My heart.
No, I do not care. Because he has literally spent these 2 movies just trying to get as far as possible from like the Skywalker name and just be dark-sided and just be evil and try to like be like, this is who I am. I am not my mom. I am not like the rebellion. Like, that is my family legacy and I'm not part of that. I want to be my grandfather. I want to be the Dark Lord of this universe. And I want to see him go down as still trying to be the dark side of this universe.
Y'all can't see it, but I made a lot of faces.
So many faces.
Like, a ridiculous amount of faces. I could be...
And hand motions.
A screen capture person at this point. No? What?
That's it. That's your argument. No.
End of podcast. What? No. First off, I'm still making like a lot of faces and hand gestures because I'm trying to like sum it all together. Like there's a lot of noise in my head right now. Okay.
You have a lot of different opinions.
You got to think about this from his perspective. Hard, right? Just to him, the Skywalker legacy is essentially written in blood. Mm-hmm. Anakin slaughtered children, essentially killed his wife, slaughtered countless Jedi, built a Sith temple.
But he wouldn't know about that part. He wouldn't know about the Anakin part. Nobody knew that Vader was Anakin except for Luke and Leia. And, even Leia, honestly. We don't freaking know that.
Ooh, we're gonna fight so hard.
We're gonna fight. I'm gonna fight you so hard on this.
Alright, you ready? You ready for me to lay it down?
Lay it down for me, asshole.
Let me talk like Tony Stark right here.
Oh my god.
You distracted while I'm breaking it down? You paying attention? Okay, so... Girl, I can't clap because I know the mic's right here.
I got you. Bum, 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 bum.
Oh my god. Okay, first off, canon. Let's talk canon for a moment because you haven't read the books. You need to educate yourself a little bit here.
I'm gonna fight you
lady.
right here, right now. Do not call me little lady.
I love you. You're still my wife and I love you.
Yeah, after this we'll see.
No, we won't. We're tied together forever. Bloodline takes place approximately 10 years before, and audio listeners, or I guess there is only audio listeners.
Yeah.
Listeners, it's gonna get real nerdy for a second, like real deep nerd in Star Wars terms. Timeline, canonically, 10 years before The Force Awakens, the Republic has 2 parties, obviously, as any
actual government.
Yeah, as any government does. Because democracy. So, one of the things that happens is, I think it's centralists and the populace. Anyway, whichever side Leia's helping out, one of them the opposing side reveals that Vader is her father, and that she's the daughter of Vader. They paint Luke in this horrible picture. Everybody thought he was like this magnificent, magical man, saved the galaxy, blew up the Death Star. Whole 9, right? Golden boy. That's how they describe him in all the canon books. Then this happens. Ben also didn't know. it's confirmed he didn't know in something, some other canon I can't bring to the forefront of my mind. So up until Kylo, because I believe he's 28 in The Force Awakens, up until he was 18, didn't know anything about Darth Vader as far as relation. However, Kylo was obsessed with Vader. So you have to assume, and if he's obsessed with Vader, Vader's his grandfather, Luke Skywalker, obviously last names, don't know how you miss those. Trace back through the Jedi, because there were, oh god, there's so much canon. In the comics, you find holocrons that had Luke's father, Anakin Skywalker, doing lessons, doing teachings, all that. And Luke finds them eventually. The Jedi librarian transferred all of them to this mystery planet that Luke eventually finds in one of the Star Wars mainline issues. Don't remember which one specifically, sorry. So, all that knowledge is available. That's how he starts his Jedi Academy. He has, like, all this here for him. And if you don't think that Ben frickin' Solo, the most powerful of his Padawans, that mighty Skywalker blood that Luke talks about, found out and saw all the Anakin stuff, you're crazy. So.
Okay, but even if he did see all of the Anakin stuff, Anakin, for the most part, was actually a good fucking person.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, shut up! Do not talk about my husband that way. He was actually a good person. Like the
he
Clone
almost
Wars,
killed a senator.
He was with Ahsoka, amazing. All of that wasn't until it got to the end of the Clone Wars / Revenge that he got too far and went to the dark side. Fight me on it. I don't care. So how could Ben, as a fucking 18-year-old, see this is Anakin Skywalker, this is Darth Vader, clearly two different type of beings. Like, sure, they are the same person, but Anakin Skywalker is not the same as Darth Vader, and I will fight anyone who tries to tell me otherwise, because they are two separate, like, characters, they're two separate beings, it's not the same person.
I'm not gonna deny that, because...
So, like, he chose to only give a shit about Darth Vader
Anakin
as his
had
grandparent.
a dark side.
I will fight you. Ben Solo decided on his own, after doing his own research, if you are fucking correct, he decided to only care about the Darth Vader side. He didn't care about Anakin, because Anakin, like, his story of, like, Tatooine and all that crap, and, like, coming up and, like, becoming part of the Jedi Academy, even though he was past the age, and, like, doing all these things with, fucking Kenobi, like, he decided, that's cool, that's whatever, but I don't give a shit about that. He decided to only focus on the bad things. I'm gonna beep
so much out of this.
I don't care, I'm passionate.
That doesn't matter, cool your jets. Anyway,
he decided...
there's a lot of editing for me. You're not the one that has to beep you.
He decided to only care about after all of that, after what the events of Revenge. He decided to only care about, he became Darth Vader because of Sidious, once he declared him...
Pause.
No.
No, pause. He did not become Vader because of Sidious. You cannot... That's like me saying, hey, Daisy...
Yes, he did!
Nope.
How are you going to sit here and tell me that he didn't? He literally sat in that freaking booth and watched those weird little things in the water, and he told him about the freaking story of Darth Plagueis, and was like, yeah, exactly, and was like, yo, I can save you and your wife from dying. I'm gonna make you immortal, and you can save your wife who is pregnant with your child. Like, you cannot tell me that that was not his fault.
You're gonna tell me that was Palpatine's fault?
Yes, it was!
You're telling me
that if you thought I was dying and I was pregnant with our child, that you wouldn't do anything to save the both of us?
No. We had this talk, but that's neither here nor there.
No. Any, like, rational being would want to save their wife and their child and do anything in their power to do it. And he told him, I have the secret.
He gave him the power.
No, he didn't. He didn't give
him
the power. He told him that he had the power to do that.
You look like that dude from the video where he's like, bro.
With
the Wicked
Wizard
Witch.
of Oz?
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel right now.
Head turn.
How are you going to tell me that I'm wrong right now, bro?
Okay, no, pause again. Lady, that's like saying if I dangle, like, what is something you want more than anything? If I dangled a Harry Potter collection, each book signed, personal handwritten note from J.K. Rowling herself, but the cost was a hospital full of children somewhere is going to explode. You got it, right? you're killing millions. Not millions, you're killing hundreds. You're killing hundreds.
Probably thousands.
Probably. Whatever. Children dying is the point. Because children died.
Uh-huh.
A lot of them. By his hand. Just reminding you.
Yes, I remember.
You're telling me if any means that gets you something you want or something you feel you need at the cost of other lives, you tell me that's not a choice? Boom. Got you. Lawyered.
Yes.
No,
but he was tricked into it.
There was no trickery.
Yeah, no, he was
He
tricked
had
into
problems
it.
letting go.
No, he didn't. Okay, yes, he did have many problems letting go. But he only followed him with the promise that his wife and his child were going to be fine and that everything was going to be okay with it because that's what's his problem. Listen,
you don't go against Yoda. You never go against Yoda.
But okay, listen, whatever. My main point is that Ben, Kylo, whatever, he knew.
Choice. You said it.
Shut up. He had two different versions of his grandfather to choose from, and he chose the dark side. It is his own fault. And I want to see him go down for it.
No, okay. To cap this off, I guess, there's still a lot of... But, like, the problem with having Anakin in the time he was Anakin is there was still, like, a lot of bloodshed. Like, it was droids, but he saw his grandfather, the war hero, which Jedi were never meant to be, which is why they fell. That's why Sidious came to power. They could not see past their lightsabers, past their power and influence over worlds around them, and everything fell.
That was the Jedi's fault.
One,
if everyone had listened...
No, see, you just said it's the Jedi's fault.
Had, like, been on the same page as Qui-Gon, everything would have been fine.
No, because, I mean... He
was balanced.
But Vader would have to kill everyone no matter what. Anakin would have to kill everyone no matter what. Because there was still only one Sith. Well, two if you count.
Him. So.
No, Dooku.
Oh, yeah.
But then he killed Dooku, so that's
did.
out. So then one.
I mean, technically Grievous, but like he was a robot, so like, will we really... And
then finally at the point when it's just Sidious and Vader, Kenobi and Yoda, and then two potentials in Luke and Leia.
Yeah.
Because you don't know where they'd fall.
Yeah.
But I might do like a lone podcast on like Star Wars canon where it's like what would happen if Leia, because I have some serious thoughts that she wouldn't go dark side, but she would make the Jedi fall to exactly what they were exactly where they were in the Republic.
I can see that because Leia is way more strong-willed than Luke was.
Not strong-willed necessarily, but like she's more dogmatic.
She's a little more aggressive.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is Skywalker's blood, lots of blood. Like, no matter what you say about Luke, he killed millions on the Death Star. Not a good thing. Necessary?
Necessary.
With
canon,
we read Lost Stars.
That they knew that there was a fault.
Yes.
And they didn't care.
Yeah. But, like, we read Lost Stars. They were friends, and they were good people, and that in their mind, they were just doing what was necessary
They were still evil.
June was evil?
Yes.
Boom. Anyway.
She was, and she deserved to die.
Oh my god, that's heartless.
Please read Lost Stars by Claudia Gray. Because that book is amazing.
It's a good starter for Star Wars canon. Highly recommend. And it goes by really fast. It covers all three trilogies. Or all three
movies.
Original trilogy.
Yeah. Really good.
But the point is that Luke, in everyone's eyes, killed Vader, defeated Vader, because he only told Leia and Han about the confrontation, again, as per canon.
Yeah.
And obviously Han knows, because in The Force Awakens, he's like, there's too much Vader in him. And then Luke almost kills him. Luke considers killing him because he saw all the things. He saw all the potential.
Instead of Luke being like, and then I regretted it, he should have just stabbed.
Nope.
Light stab.
The story of Star Wars is failure and redemption. Every character you meet...
I do not care. I do not want to see Kylo be redeemed at all. I don't want to see it in any type of capacity. I do not want to see Rey give him any ounce of, like, sympathy and, like, spare him.
What?
I know she will, but I don't want to see it.
The Force, actually, Last Jedi novel, which is, like, supplemental. So, like, don't take this to heart. Last Jedi. They talk about that, where it's like, when she wakes up first, right? She can just walk up to Kylo and go stabby stab. turn it on,
Yeah.
point it down.
You're right.
But when she looks down at him, in her mind, because in the Force Awakens novel, Snoke was telling her to kill him once he was down. But then, the chasm opened and...
Yeah, all these things happen.
Right. For future stuff, obviously. And in this, she sensed the cosmic force, what Qui-Gon talks about, the living force, speaks to her, and it's like, no, it's not his time. There's more to his story. So...
There's nothing to his story.
There's more. So no stabby stab.
I love Adam Driver. I love him as Kylo. I think he does a really good job, and I love Kylo as a character. But
you gotta draw the line.
Like the villain for this trilogy as him is like really good, and I love it. But I don't want to see him be redeemed. I just want an evil character to be.
What if they don't kill him? What if she still spares him?
If she spares him and it ends with him still being alive, I'm gonna be really pissed off.
What if? Well, that would lead to balance. You know what I mean? Because one
and one.
Yeah, because it's like.
But it's not 1 and 1. Like you've already seen it with the Last Jedi at the very end.
Broom Kid isn't a Jedi.
Broom Kid isn't the Jedi, but the point is that the Force still lives on with other beings. Like you don't have to be a Jedi. You don't have to be a Sith specifically to be able to just
influence,
be the Force and be one with the Force. And like they've very clearly shown that with the new trilogy and with Rogue One. Like they've shown that you do not have to be one or the other, and that's okay. But I don't think that means that like there has to be Rey, who is a Jedi, and there has to be Kylo, who is a Sith, and they both live and like they find the balance. Like just kill both of them.
That's horrible. I think there needs to be that. Because there always needs to be a teacher, right? Like it's
but there doesn't need to be. That's the point.
The
Force doesn't go away. It is an ever thing. It is like an ever like being. I guess it's just always a thing.
There's always midichlorians.
There doesn't have to be. There doesn't have to be There doesn't have to be a Rey. There doesn't have to be a Luke. There doesn't have to be a Yoda to teach the light side of the Force. There doesn't have to be a Sidious. There doesn't have to be a Vader. There doesn't have to be a Kylo to teach the dark side of the Force. There just is the Force.
I think this boils down to a philosophical disagreement. I'm not joking.
I think it does.
In that it's like atheist versus like higher power. You know what I mean? Like, because there has to be.
But there isn't.
No, it's not that there isn't, because in Star Wars there is.
Well, obviously it's the Force.
So focus on that.
But I don't think there needs to be one specific character. Like if they do kill off Kylo, there doesn't have to be just Rey to continue on. Like obviously in The Last Jedi, she takes the like sacred Jedi texts, like you saw that, and she hid them in the Millennium Falcon. Like you see that. There doesn't have to be like where she's like, okay, well, Kylo is defeated now. There's clearly more people with the Force that I can feel, obviously, through the Force. So I need to train them in this way. You
know what the problem with that is, though? Is that just like Luke became a legend, Rey would become a legend. And someone...
I don't think necessarily she could be a legend.
Why?
Not that she's
nobody.
Not that she's nobody and she hasn't done things, but she hasn't in these movies done things
like Luke did
that would have made her an outlier.
Okay, yes, but no, because how Rose talks about Finn, how she's like, you're the Finn. Mm-hmm. And,
someone probably talks about Rey that way.
Exactly. And it only takes one person to start a myth.
Yeah, but I
would say a man, a myth, a legend, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but the way that the two previous movies have given off, specifically The Last Jedi, I don't see that happening. Like, Rey... Not that Luke did it for, like, fame and glory, obviously.
It just happened that he was... But, like, everyone knew he was a Jedi.
Yeah.
And they were like, we have a Jedi. What's up?
But, like, with Rey, it went from her finding out that she is skilled in the Force and using that to get herself out of these situations in The Force Awakens to The Last Jedi was literally just her trying to convince Luke to come back and fight for them because he is the Last Jedi. Like, to her, he is the only one that could do these things. She doesn't believe in herself that she has this power to overthrow a government, essentially.
That's like with Luke and Yoda, though.
Yeah, but, like, it's it, like, to me, it's different with Rey. Like, she isn't, like, a martyr. Martyr?
Martyr. Mortar's a missile you launch into the sky.
Yeah. She's not a martyr in this story. Like, she's not doing this for the greater good. She's doing it for herself.
You think so? I don't believe so. I think she's doing it. She's too selfless for that, right? The first thing she
literally lived her entire life on Jakku trying to fight to just keep herself alive. I don't think that she's doing this for the greater good. But that wasn't her nature.
She stayed BB-8 without needing to.
Well, yeah, but like...
She liked the weird walrus creatures that Luke milked.
Yeah.
And then she avoided eye contact for, reasons.
No, but like overall with what I've been shown, like for me, that's not how I see her, and I don't see her being a myth or a legend. Like maybe it's like, oh, there was like this thing, like this person that did these things with the Force and blah blah blah. But it wouldn't be like how Luke was the man, the myth, the legend, where it was, that's Luke Skywalker, like this is his legacy. It wouldn't be the same for Rey. Like it would just be like, oh, I heard of this tale one time of this person that did this and blah blah blah. Like that's how I see it, and so I think that would be better off. And her just like, I think Rey would be the one to finally realize like there shouldn't be Jedi and Sith. It should just be the Force.
It's like I get that, but fundamentally. It goes back to that philosophical difference of you don't believe there has to be, whereas I believe there needs to be. Because if there's no one to teach good, just good, not the light or the dark. If there's no one to teach good or teach bad, then there can't be balance, right? Because it's just chaos. You need two pillars to find a medium, no matter what.
But see, for me,
and that's
Rey would be the medium. There doesn't need to be this side and this side. It would just be Rey in the middle.
But like everything about Rey's good. Like honestly, if you want to talk like middle, that's
no.
Like...
I get that she's good, but I could see her becoming a Qui-Gon where she gets the other side as well. Because like in The Last Jedi, whenever Luke was trying to train her, she saw like the life and blah blah blah, and then it went dark and she saw all this stuff, so she could be that middle without there having to be the outer good and bad.
I don't know. I think I still disagree with you. I understand where you're coming from. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I just think like story wise and like fundamentally, I don't think it can be.
I mean I guess we'll see in December who's right.
I'm hoping
or who's more right.
I'm hoping if there's not redemption, there is what's it called? When you let him live, just sparing, like or just leaving him to live. I really don't want.
I really don't want that.
I really don't want Kylo to die.
I don't want
without redemption. And if he,
if he dies with redemption, then okay, I'll accept that. Like that's not what I wanted, but nobody's writing it for me. Obviously, like that's the main problem with Star Wars fans. Nobody's writing your fan fiction, so shut up. So if he does die with redemption, then that's fine. Like I will accept that, and that's okay. It's not what I wanted, but it's fine. But if he goes on, like if there's a big showdown and he's spared to live, I don't like that at all.
Just good to go and live on his own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna keep arguing about this.
We're gonna argue about this all the time. We need just a specific Star Wars episode because we have a lot of different thoughts.
Clearly, I don't know, man. Whatever you're pitching, it ain't it, Chief. Not for me.
It ain't it, Chief, for me.
But yeah, so clearly both very hyped. I think that was
We're both hyped for Star Wars. Clearly, 10 out of 10 for both of us.
I think
honestly,
that got
more
the
than
most
10 out of 10.
reaction on both sides.
Yeah.
We still love each other. We'll make it through this, guys. Don't worry.
This is how you know that we're just giant nerds.
Catch up on canon. That's not like that. It's not meant to sound as condescending as it did.
Was that at me?
Yeah.
Because I feel
You feel attacked?
Yeah. Just came here for a good time, and I'm feeling a little attacked right now.
Okay. Well, it'd be that way sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. I think
we'll just have to come back to this topic some other time.
We gotta stop saying I think.
When we have when we have time for a full episode, so we can really come at it.
The reason this Star Wars has been like 40-ish minutes of us just straight arguing.
Yeah.
And it all started with a question of how to tie it all together.
We'll have we'll probably have multiple Star Wars episodes.
Especially after Celebration.
Oh, heck yeah.
I hope they don't... it's not that I hope they don't show a trailer. I hope, like, Avengers' trailers aren't going to be...
You don't want me to be right?
You're not going to be right. I know
I'm
going to
be right.
I know you're not going to be right.
right.
I know you're not going to be right.
I'm going to be right.
He will either be spared or he'll be redeemed. It's how it goes. All the Skywalkers have been redeemed.
Whatever. We've already argued about this for so long.
Okay. Anyway, I hope it's like Avengers where it's like any trailer, any spot, anything. It's no longer... It goes no further than the first 15 minutes. So anything we see is the first
in the
15
movie?
minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
There will be
I don't want anything further than that.
Because I think even for The Force Awakens, you saw Poe flying around Starkiller Base and blowing stuff up.
Yeah.
And then I think you see him doing like the trench run like a little bit.
And I think in The Last Jedi, you just get some snippets.
Of Crate.
Mm-hmm.
You see the ATM 6s.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the... God, I'm a nerd. You see the... and you see the Sand Runners.
Yeah, but that's all you really get from the very ending, I think.
Then the Foxes.
Yeah. But nobody really thought about that.
Everybody thought that was going to be the Hoth, the big battle. Or
yeah.
And then it's like, psych.
It's like, psych, that's the last, 15 minutes.
Right? That's like the third ending of that movie.
Yeah, but, we'll see. Hopefully we get a trailer when we go to Celebration and we can talk to you about that.
And,
because I'm sure we'll have a lot of thoughts.
That, and I'll probably start just doing canon stuff. I think I might do that on the side.
You probably should.
Like when you have girls' nights and stuff, I'll just stay here, read a book, or read comics, talk about it, catch people up on stuff. I don't know. I think it's really interesting. I like the circular nature of Star Wars. There's like nothing quite like it as far as content for me. That's like history repeats itself, not always exactly the same way, but the conclusions it comes to almost always are similar. Mm-hmm. And I'm pretty down with that.
All right, well.
This has been our talk of endings on the Nerd Spectrum podcast. Thank you guys for listening. We will... this is the second episode for the week? Mm-hmm. So next episode, next episode, we'll be hitting the horror resurgence, guys. Can't wait to talk about it.
Oh yeah, boy. That's my genre.
Twilight Zone, more It, Us, all that stuff.
All the good horror content.
Yeah.
I'm here to talk about it.
Probably a Prodigy review.
Yeah, because I'm sure we'll see it by the time we record the next episode.
But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We will talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.